Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you about the hottest comics releasing this Wednesday, April 28th, 2021. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, comment down below. Let me know what your guys are most excited for this week, because there's some really good choosers to pick this week. I'm going to dive right into some of my top picks. Berserker number 2. Keanu Reeves, on fire. Secondary market on fire. You know, this comic just gets more and more popular as time goes. I have more and more people that come in asking about this comic just because it's Keanu related. It's starting to get more and more celebrities into doing comics. They just announced Emilia Clarke, who plays Khaleesi in Game of Thrones, is doing her own image book, and it looks like she's in that as well. You know, it's just a big point in comics right now, just because, you know, like movies for comics, you know, comics are doing so well. So, I mean, Matt Kindit and Keanu Reeves, Ron Garney, they're doing a good job at this. This one's going to focus on the U.S. government. Dr. Diana Ahuin seeks to unlock the mysterious bee's memories, lifetime of violence and tragedy like no one else who has ever lived, that began with a fateful decision in ancient Mesopotamia. But is Diana here to help him, or is she serving a darker agenda? And I read number 1, and I thought it was pretty good, but the thing with this one is some stores are doing promotions for Boom, where if you purchase the number 1 foil cover and have proof of that and come in and purchase the number 2 foil cover, you're able to get a free Something's Killing the Children number 1/8 printing. But this was a very complicated situation for retailers to order, and I think it's a little bit of a mishaps on Boom part, because they should have just matched the orders for the foils of number 1 so that every single customer has that chance to get the free, but instead they made us order 1 in 3s of number 2, and I ordered way less of number 2 than I did number 1, so I'm only gonna have like a handful of these Something Killing the Children number 1/8 printings, and so I'm definitely giving them to my poll customers first, who I know purchased the foil ones, and then I'm going to allow the rest of the customers to pick up the rest. But it is just, it's a tricky situation, and I don't like the way Boom went about it, because it, you know, they have plenty of companies have done things where you get like free items in the future for customers, but they usually match your order, which is very strange to me. It's very suspicious. It makes these values go much higher, and, you know, comic book stores will look like the bad guys if they don't have any or have enough, and it's not technically our fault. It is solely Boom's fault. But anyways, that doesn't take away from the comic. If you're liking this comic, be sure to pick this one up. It will be fire. It's already on its 2nd printing, so go ahead and check that one out. Also, Robin number 1. This is going to have not 1, but 2 first appearances in it. And I have gotten a chance to already read this, and it is very fun. I was very surprised. I'm not a huge Damien fan, but it definitely takes you into a more Mortal Kombat-esque battle with this Lazarus tournament, which is very cool, and I'm very excited to see where this leads on. So the first appearances, though, I think are going to be huge. Joshua Williamson killing the writing. Gleb Melikov, he does a really good job doing the art, and yeah, I'm excited to see where this one continues. Also, Silk number 2. Number 1 did fantastic at my store, did very, very well, and I think number 2 is going to do good, but just not as good. I mainly have this comic on here for the 1 in 25 incentive cover. The cover is done by Rose Besch, and she is one of the hottest upcoming artists. It definitely reminds me of when Momoko was before she's like on every cover. So this one's interesting, because that comic is going to be pretty hard to find, because it is a 1 in 25. So it might be seen on the secondary market how well it was doing, and companies might have over-ordered to get that incentive, but I'm not too sure. Still doing great on the secondary market. I still liked issue number 1. I'm excited to see where number 2 goes, and to see if Silk can get her own TV show or movie later in the future. That'd be great. Also, The Marvels, number 1. It's written by Kurt Busiek. It's drawn by, oh man, Yilidari Sinar, and it has fantastic Alex Ross covers. Alex Ross has actually created new characters for this comic, and we've been seeing sketches of them throughout our advertisements in the Marvel comics. So it's really interesting, and I'm really excited to see what Kirpusek does for this. Adding to the Marvel universe is always fantastic, and I'm very excited to see where this goes. It's a all new ongoing series, so it should be a great place to pick up. And there's some fantastic covers too. There's a 1 in 50 Delato, a 1 in 25 Epting, and it's just, there's some great stuff there. So I'm hoping that one does very well. Now time for our series shoutouts. These are more closer to my picks for reader buzzes and things like that. Things that I really enjoy. Things I think will be popular but not necessarily be like the got to have for the week. So starting off the series shoutout, we're starting off with crossover number 6. And this is the final part of this arc, the Kids Love Chains arc. And I'm very excited to see what happens in this. They have announced a couple new variant covers for it. One by Eric Larson, and it's Savage Dragon like punching Witchblade, which seems really cool. And then the other one's a Tomahawk, the Ian Berterman cover, and I'm very excited. I'm a big Donny Cates fan. If you couldn't tell, love God Country, love everything that Donny Cates has pretty much has written, and I am so excited to see how, if more worlds are going to merge in this finally. They were finally at the Dome at the last one, so very excited to see where this goes. Number 7 seems super interesting as well. It's going to be taken over by Chip Zdarsky, so that should be fun, and I'm very excited. Also, my favorite comic right now of all time is going to be Department of Truth, so it is going in my series shoutouts. Department of Truth number 8 releases this week. And James Tynion, Martin Simmons, killing it. We're starting with a new story arc. We're diving right in. It has some crazy cool covers. I will be getting all of them. I've even started diving into the store exclusives for these. It's crazy. I really enjoy this comic, and I think it is so fun learning more about Lee Harvey Oswald and how he is going to be more a part of this Department of Truth. Plus, I mean, there's a Scotty Young cover. I mean, I felt like this comic was made for me sometimes because I love Department of Truth and I love Scotty Young, and they just merged the two together, and I'm very, very excited. So let's see what the second arc has to do, because the last 2 issues were more like standalone titles. This is definitely going to be diving in more into conspiracy theories, and I'm super excited for that ride. Next up, Snatched, number 1. This one seems very interesting. I like the concept quite a bit. From the favelas of Central America all the way to the scalp of your favorite A-list actress or IG crush, you know the one I'm talking about. Snatched is a hardcore voyage into the bloody, treacherous, violent, unfiltered, uncompromising, and always unforgiving world of human hair trafficking. Following 3 parallel storylines, Snatch examines how racism, misogyny, and unchecked capitalism lead the pursuit of one of the world's most visible and lucrative yet unspoken commodities, hair weave. If you thought the drug game was deadly, wait until you see what goes down in the hair trade. And that sounds super interesting because you don't really get comics based off of things like that. So, I mean, it is a Scout comic. You know, those have been doing super great. I'm very excited. It's from Sheldon Allen writing and Marcio Compatella as the artist. And I'm excited for this ride. I'm at least going to check out the number 1, maybe number 2, see how things go. And yeah, it should be cool. Also, Reckless, Friend of the Devil hardcover comes out this week. It is Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, Jacob Phillips combination of a book. If you like crime noir stories, I highly recommend getting into Ed Brubaker. He is one of the top dogs of crime noir, and this one, the first story, hit home. I loved it. I really like the Troublemaker for Hire Ethan Reckless, and this one is going to dive more into his storyline. It's 1985, and things in Ethan's life are going pretty well until a missing woman shows up in the background of an old B movie, and Ethan is drawn into Hollywood's secret old-cut underbelly as he hunts for her among the wreckage of the wild days of the 70s. And I mean, the art speaks for itself. It's Sean Phillips, Jacob Phillips, fantastic. I love them, and I love that they're able to put out these books. They're about to put 3 of them out in 1 year, which is incredible. And yeah, definitely check that one out. Now we are on to our late printings for this week, and boy is there a lot. We have Alien #1 second print. There's also a 1 in 25 to match with that one. We have Berserker #1 third print. This one's going to be almost impossible to find. Man, did they allocate this one heavily. I'm getting a little upset with this because I do get, you know, I get the bad end of the stick. I get, you know, customers that are upset, unfortunately, because they can't get one because a lot of people show them the eBay prices and things like that, and they want a $5 comic so that they could sell for $200. I mean, who wouldn't want that? That seems like an easy flip. But unfortunately, I just won't have the copies, so I wish you the best of luck on that one. Detective Comics 1034 second print, also Geiger #1 second print. There's also a 1 in 25 for that one. Very great comic. Magic the Gathering #1 second print, super fun comic. Really like the Hidden Planeswalker covers for those though. Nightwing #78 second print. Love Tom Taylor's run. Love this new image for the second print. I'm very excited to see where things go with Tom Taylor and Nightwing. Nottingham #1 second print, also a tough one that's going to be hard to find. It did get allocated a little bit, but it's also completely sold out, so if you didn't get your pre-orders in, fortunately that one's going to be a tough one. And Shadecraft #1 second print, I mean, there's rumors of the Netflix series. #2 also comes out this week, and yeah, I'm very excited to see where all of these go, how well they do for Wednesday, and I hope that you see some comics here that might interest you and you want to pick up. And be sure to stop by your local comic book shop this Wednesday, April 28th, to check out all these great comics and many more. Have a great day.